Hey guys, Jam here, and in today's video I'm finally going to finish this kill team that's been sat on my table for probably a year, maybe more. And yeah, I'm going to be making the ultimate kill teamy kill team. But anyway, I won't make you look at this mug any longer, let's get straight into it. Alright, so there's kind of two reasons why I want to do a Deathwatch kill team. Now, number one, they are the ultimate kill team. They're literally built around kill teams. They send in the elite of the elite specialist squads to go in and kill the Xenos, the aliens. So like I said, they are the ultimate kill team. Now, there's actually a little bonus reason as well that kind of fits into my next point. It's the fact that Deathwatch are made up of every single chapter you can think of. So I can make every single guy extra unique, especially when Deathwatch kill teams get a lot of unique weapon options and stuff like that, so every guy really is a character. It just fits perfect for kill team. And secondly, if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know I've been doing that kind of community army where you guys vote on chapters for me to kitbash and I'll add them into the Deathwatch. But usually those models look like the chapter, and I'm trying to lean into that chapter's aesthetic, not so much a Deathwatch aesthetic. So I'm going to go a little bit into a Deathwatchy vibe with these guys more than I usually would. Now, first up on the chopping block is a Marine hailing from the Raptors chapter. Now in the lore, they're a bit more of a tactical chapter, I guess. They're not all gothic and over the top or covered in wolf pelts. They are your kind of standard soldiers kind of dudes. So I thought this guy would be perfect for a veteran gunner. So I'm going to be giving him a plasma gun. I'll be slapping some scopes and stuff on there later because I kind of feel like they'd be the kind of tactical precision guys. So one of the first steps I take is I use my hobby knife to slowly trim off the quilla on his chest. Now this is for two reasons. One, it helps me attach those kind of Deathwatch pouches onto his chest, but also the Raptors being that kind of tactical, normal soldier vibe, I feel like they would have less decorations on their armor. Now for the scopes, you can kind of find these in all of the Primaris kits, really, like Intercessors, all those kind of dudes. And I just picked the one with the most scopes on it. So this one's got 3 on there, which is perfect for some sort of snipey dude. I don't even know if you can snipe with a plasma, to be perfectly honest, but it looks cool. And all I did was I cut off the magazine and trimmed it down a little bit so it fits nicely on the side there. As you can see there, it fits pretty well. As for the backpack, like I said, I'm going for more of a Deathwatch look over the Raptor look. So I'm just using a backpack straight from the Deathwatch veteran kit. Now we'll use this backpack on 3 other dudes as well, mainly the guys with the guns. Any sort of close combat loadout, I just use the normal backpacks. And that's because they've got that little targeting scope thing on top of the backpack, so I felt like it might help them with the shooting a bit better. Now for the head option, with a tactical kind of marine like this, I feel like a helmet makes more sense, but I really like this head with all the scopes and all that over the eye. So once again, just kind of going into that techie sniper kind of vibe, so I just had to go for it. Now the last kind of main thing I do here is I wanted one arm free doing some sort of like call sign or whatever it is you call them. So I think this one's just out of the Primaris Intercessor kit, I believe. You know, he's kind of telling his teammates to maybe hold up or something like that. So I thought, once again, tactical vibes. And all that was left to do is add one of those little Deathwatch pouches onto his chest and add the shoulder pads. And next up is a bit more of a normal kind of bog standard Marine here. And this is going to be a Nova Marine. And in-game, he's just a veteran warrior. Now this dude's going to be loaded out with a Deathwatch bolt gun and a power weapon. Now this particular model is an easy build assault intercessor. I wanted a guy kind of running and gunning. So all I got to do here is I got to slice off the bolt pistol that's already on this guy using my hobby knife, just gently going around the hand. And then all I did was once again went back to the Deathwatch veteran kit and I got a really cool looking bolt gun here and I just glued it on. Now for the head option, like I said, Nova Marines are a bit more kind of basic Marine looking. So I just went for a Intercessor Sergeant kind of helmet with this one. Now for the power weapon, all I did was I got this sword out of the veteran kit again and just glued it on, no modifications there. Now all I do with this guy for now is slap a couple of accessories and baggies on him, a knife and all that kind of stuff, but I will be coming back to him later on in the video. Now onto the fun guy. This is one of the cool reasons to go with Deathwatch, because you get all the funky weapons. Now this guy's going to be getting an Infernus Heavy Bolter. It's basically just a flamer and a heavy bolter smushed together, which is freaking awesome. Now they do also have a grenade launchery thing, which apparently is maybe better. I'm not really sure. I've never played the game. But obviously with a badass explosive rocket launchery flamer gun thing, this guy has to come from a chapter that likes fire. So he'll be hailing from the Fire Lords. Like I said, they're a chapter that apparently love explosives and fire, so, you know, works perfectly. Now for the helmet, I wanted something a bit chunkier, and also it's got the little eye lens camera thing, and it's got the antenna and everything, so my head cannon is kind of connecting to the gun and the camera thingy on the backpack, so everything works together for his heavy bolter aiming and all that kind of good stuff. Now one thing I do with this guy, but I haven't shown it on camera, is the little camera on his backpack. I actually cut it off and I rotate it so it's facing the same direction that he's looking, and then just glue it back on. And that's pretty much this guy done. I'll add the little chest pouches on in a bit and then add some purity seals and all that everywhere. Now the next dude on the list will be my sergeant, basically the leader of this crew. But apparently I made a bit of a boo-boo with this one because I thought base sizes wasn't really that important for kill team. So I thought this guy in my army can maybe be used as a Blade Guard veteran or a lieutenant and run as my kill team as well. So he's on a bigger base, he's on a 40 mil. So apparently that's a problem. I'm not really sure. Once again, I've not played the game. But I do have other Deathwatchy dudes with swords and shields, which is, by the way, what he's going to be kitted out with. So I can always just swap it out in the future. But anyway, I decided I wanted this guy to be from the Excoriators chapter. I think that's how it's pronounced. And from what I can remember of the chapter, they kind of keep their battle scars and their chips and everything on their armor. It's kind of like a badge of honor, so they never ever repair their armor. Of course, if it's completely busted, I'm sure they do, but any nicks and chips and cuts and like chips of paint and all that kind of stuff, they keep in there. It's a sign that they've been in battle. Like I said, at least as far as I remember. So for this dude, I had to come in with my hobby knife, and I really gently I just started cutting little scratches and scrapes out of the armor. Usually you could just paint chips in, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go that extra step because this guy's whole shtick is kind of battle wornness. And then once I added enough kind of cuts and scratches across the armor and I felt comfortable with that, I decided I want to get some bullet wounds in here as well. So I heated up a bit of paper clip, or you can use any sort of wire or whatever you want to use, and then I pressed it into the armor. Now you got to be kind of gentle with this because I think some of them I went a bit too far and I melted the holes too big, so they didn't look that great. But if you just do little light touches with it, it looks really, really nice because it makes the plastic bubble up around it. I mean, it kind of creates this little ring around it, like it looks like a real bullet wound. And on some of those holes that I melted in, I'll also go in with my hobby knife and just kind of create little scratches and nicks around it so it's not just a perfect circle. Now going straight to the backpack, because this guy is a leader and I wanted to use him as a Blade Guard veteran as well, I just used the Blade Guard veteran backpacks with a little halo on it. But I wanted to give it a little bit of a Deathwatch vibe as well. So in the Deathwatch upgrade sprue you get these little eye icons, and I basically just snipped the bottom of that off and I just glued it into the middle of the ring. Now like I said before, this guy's going to be equipped with a shield and a sword, but not any old sword. It's going to be a Deathwatch specific sword, and it's called a Xenophase blade. It's basically some sort of Necron blade that it's a bit of heresy, but Deathwatch get access to cool stuff like that. Now the shield and the sword is straight out of the Deathwatch Veterans kit, so nothing special there, I just glued that on. Also adding a bit of damage to the shield as well. Now as for the head, I had to go with something with scars. I just felt like it fit really well for the chapter, so I just used this Primaris head with 2 long scratches down the side of his face, and that was it really. I thought it would fit perfectly. Now next up, and this might be one of my favorite ones. I mean, I kind of like all these dudes, if I do say so myself, but this guy's going to be from the Flesh Tearers, and I always kind of like that chapter. Now in game, he is a veteran fighter, and he'll be equipped with 2 lightning claws. I mean, what's more fitting for a Flesh Tearer than that? Now these particular lightning claws are from the older Jetpack Assault Squad. I don't know if they make them anymore, I'm pretty sure they do, but you know, Primaris are taking over now. I just chose 2 that kind of fit the pose that I wanted perfectly, and I just glued them on. As for the head I chose on this guy, there was no particular reason apart from it's kind of an angry looking face, and later I'll just paint some blonde hair on there because, you know, sanguineous and whatnot. And then because this guy's kind of a close combat guy, I want to add a bit more bulk to him, so I got this tilt shield that I'm just going to glue on there, and also it'll be a nice cool place for a transfer later as well. Now, as you have seen, there's quite a few accessories, purity seals, all that kind of stuff. But the main one I want to focus on here is this Blood Angels kind of skull and wing things with like the blood drop in the middle. I think it's from the old Blood Angels upgrade sprue, I'm not 100% sure. But I thought that'd be really nice just to put on top of the backpack because everyone else has got little cameras and stuff like that. So I felt like everybody needed something on their backpack. Well, apart from one guy that will come up towards the end of the video. Now before I get on to the last guy, I decided I wanted to put some accessories on the middle of the chest of the guys that I shaved the quiller off. Now in the Deathwatch Veterans kit, the bodies that come with it, they all got kind of little skull logos and inquisitorial icons and stuff like that in the middle of the chest, and I'm not going to use these bodies, so I figured I'd slice the little logo off in the middle and glue them on my Primaris versions. Now this whole process takes a lot of patience and time just to kind of snip around little bits and that, but as you can see on the screen right now, I think it really helps these guys look a lot different to normal Primaris Marines with these different icons in the middle of their chests. Now onto the final dude, and there's a reason why he's the final dude because, like I said before, it took me so long to get around to finishing this project. I think at one point my list was legal, but then some rules changed and then I needed to add one more guy in. Pretty sure that's what happened. So I had to go back and make another dude. But anyway, long story short, this guy is going to be from the Imperial Fists, and he'll be equipped with a Deathwatch shotgun. I don't know, Imperial Fists and shotguns just kind of felt right to me. Now I just glued on the shotgun and the shoulder pads and everything like that, the backpack, these all just from the normal kits. No adjusting or converting there. But with this being an Imperial Fist, I felt like he needed to be a little bit more armored up. A little more bulky looking. So again, I chucked on a tilt shield on this dude with an extra armored look. And then when it came to the head, I wanted once again something really bulky, maybe a bit Roman, Greek looking or something like that. And perfectly, in the Deathwatch upgrade sprue, they have a Deathwatch specific helmet with a giant metal mohawk. So it gives it that armored feeling, and it has that kind of Roman vibe, which I think Imperial Fists kind of have that, similar to Ultramarines. And I just glued it on. Like I said, this is a very easy one, and it just worked pretty well. And final thing I do to this guy to really bulk him out and give them a bit more character is I got these leather strappy things. I always forget what they're called. I can't pronounce them. Perturugis? I really don't know what they're called. Yeah, they're from the Cataphracti Terminator kit. I'm using them for Space Wolves, so I do not need these at all, really. So I just kind of shaved down and cut bits off the top of the thingy until it fit underneath the Primaris Marines belt. And that's it, just glued it on. It adds a lot of character, and that guy is done. Now obviously there's quite a bit I skipped out in this video so far because, you know, a lot of it's just the same old accessories all over, and I don't want this video to be 1,000 hours long. And also, if you're wondering, the kind of shoulder pad icons that I've got on some of these guys, I'm pretty sure they just 3D printed. I'm not really sure where you get them from, but one of my viewers on the channel sent them to me a very long time ago, which is awesome, and I just super glued those on throughout these guys. But anywho, with that all said, I'm gonna go base these dudes, paint them up, all that. We're gonna do a little spinny showcase, so let's go for it. And there you have it, ladies and gents, in all its kill teamy glory. Now it's taken me, like I said before, a very long time to actually get around to finishing this off. The footage has been done for about a year. I just had to get around to painting it. So yeah, glad it's done. I can finally get some games in. Not that I ever get a chance to play. But yeah, Let me know what you think of the video. You know, the usual stuff, like, subscribe. I got a Patreon with some perks there if you want to join that for that extra little bit of support. YouTube membership. You know what to do at this point, but yeah, let me know below what you think of this kill team. Is it the ultimate kill team? And yeah, till the next one, bye bye.